So what's up, guys? I know you guys see me do this 50,000 times, but today I thought I would just show you how I do it and what I do, because usually I just skip parts and give you like an idea what you're supposed to do. So you can just watch me do my thing. I'm going to try to save these strings. I am taking this guitar and updating it with gold hardware and new pickups and wirings. You guys know I'm a big fan of Guitar Fetish. That's where I got my pickups and wirings from. And plus, I got a Goto bridge. I'm a big fan of those. So we're going to be replacing the pickup rings to black. I think I'm taking the poker chip off, getting a gold switch, and I think that's about it. But we're going to go ahead and take the strings off this guitar first, and the tailpiece and the bridge. This already has a Goto bridge on it, but it's silver. I got to pull the studs out and go from there. Go ahead and take this tailpiece off and lay it aside. Can take the bridge off. Lay it aside for another guitar. We're going to go ahead and test this tailpiece, see if it's the right size. I'm pretty sure it is. It's for imports. Yeah. It fits pretty good. I know the bridge will fit because I got the same exact bridge. So I'm going to go ahead and take these studs out. What I like about these guitars that these are ringed out, so when you go to pull the studs out, it doesn't crack the finish. So I went ahead and got the studs in. Let's see what it looks like with the tailpiece. I think it's going to look pretty good. And when we get the black trim, like I said, these pickups are coming out. Lay these screws aside. I know some people are particular about where the screws go. On a Les Paul style guitar, one's usually taller than the other on different rings. But like I said, I am replacing them, so it's no big deal. We'll do the same thing with this one. Just lay those aside. Go ahead and take this poker chip off and nut. That way it's loose. Let's go ahead and take these back off. Got to take these off. I just take a shirt, put under there like that. Just kind of pops it off. Now, if it was a more expensive guitar, I'd be taping it off and doing things a little bit more professional. But this is a cheap guitar, and I got cheap upgrades for it, like mid-grade upgrades, a little bit better than Epiphone. So I'm not really worried about how beautiful it looks, because this guitar is going to get beat around. But I'm going to go ahead and take the nuts off this, flip it over, and take the back panel. Go ahead and flip the guitar over. Take this back panel off. Now what I do is usually pile the screws, nuts, and everything and put them in a little baggie with the pots that I take out and the switch, because I set this guitar up. I take the guts out of these guitar in a way that I can reuse them easily without have to resoldering a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I just used the stock hardware out of these for like a electric guitar, the cheap one, or cheap. Somebody wants to be cheap and not do the right thing, and some people are like that. Or I built a cigar box guitar, just something, to have around to do upgrades with. These are nice rough texture. It's how you know it's a cheap guitar. And sometimes it can be a booger to get out. Scratch the back of your guitar. And there's the mini pots. So what I'm going to do is just pull this out. This is to the switch. So what I want to do is pull the switch out. Go ahead and pull this through. Then you have your bridge ground. I always try to keep it as long as possible. Just clip it off there. And your jack right here. I know you guys can't see, but you gotta take your input jack out. You don't have to take the plate off. Just hold the jack and you should be able to pull it out. And you just lay all this aside. And these come with all these in it. But you can't use these on guitar fetish pots because the shafts are bigger. So that's another thing. I'm a big fan of guitar fetish, and these guitars are already routed for big pots anyway. So that's a big plus. They must have known that we were going to upgrade this guitar. And another thing you'll get with cheap guitars, if you noticed right in here, I don't know if you can see that. Get the light over here. That is sawdust. So we want to go ahead and knock that out of there. It's either sawdust or anthrax, one of the two. But we went ahead, so we got the guitar fetish box here. This is where, you know, all my parts come from. I'm a big believer in guitar fetish. So let's go ahead and open it up. Get your box cutter. Make sure I got the right hardware. Got my packing slip. Got some awesome. I use this on guitar sometimes to lay it on top. So we got pickups. Get some hardware. And we got our awesome wiring. Go ahead and look at the wiring. I had to order a separate gold switch. I have to solder on myself because this one comes with a silver one. So I'll have to solder this one onto the wiring. Which this is a solderless wiring kit. I know a lot of people are asking questions to everybody about these. These are totally worth it. These have the iPhone gold attachment. They're really, really nice and they won't corrode. So it's definitely worth getting. These are push pulls, and yeah, all I have to do is change the switch out, which is no big deal. It's pretty self-explanatory. To the gold one, that way it matches. It always comes with a black barrel switch. So yeah, these are awesome. And your switch even comes unplugged right here. I'm going to go ahead and lay this aside. If you want to see any more information on this, go through my channel. I have, you know, a review of this harness. So we got some tuners here. Supposed to be pretty much Grover style from Wilkinson's. I don't know if these are like legit Wilkinson's or some Chinese knockoff. They say Wilkinson's on them, but like I said, I don't. They feel really, really nice. They actually feel just like Grover's. They feel good. So I went ahead and went all out on this guitar. You know, not all out, but a little bit better. I wanted to get you know, a little bit better tuners for it. But these are gold. Comes with the gold hardware. That's a plus. Then we're going to go ahead and open up the packaging. Comes with the gold screws, or the gold adjustments. I've got to get screws. And these are gold also. So yeah, these are going to be pretty awesome. This has the detachable lead also. So I can just plug it right into my harness. And these I have a bunch of because I buy off Guitar Fetish, and these is when I repair the other harness that I was talking about out of the guitar with. That way you can use you know, a female end to plug this in. Anyway, when you get your packing slip, if you get pickups, what you want to do is look on your slip, and it will tell you which one's the bridge and which one's the neck. As you can see, this the KPH12, that is the bridge position. So make sure you keep that in mind. Don't just throw it, away. I've never had a problem with guitar fetish, but a lot of people have, I guess. So that looks okay. As long as they work, it'll be okay. So lay these aside, and we'll go ahead and start putting this thing back together. So yeah. And how to tell which one's the bridge and the neck. The bridge has a shorter lead than the neck pickup, so that's how I know where the volume pots go. So you want to go ahead and make sure you get the right tone. Try to leave my grounds fairly long so you have enough to put it together with, but we'll just put this aside for right now. Go ahead and put this one in. Yes, and I don't know why. Don't put the bridge tone in yet, because you got to run your input jack out first. So make sure you keep that in mind. Don't do my mistake. I didn't get a gold one because I didn't feel need to do that, because nobody's going to see it. Plus it has a black plate, so just kind of run it in there. Go ahead and take these off. I'm not really going to go through the trouble of plugging these holes because, like I said, it's a cheaper guitar. I'm not going to probably, I'm never going to change the tuners again. I'll probably stay with that, that foot style that I'm getting ready to put on here, because the foot style that I'm putting on here ain't the same as these cheap ones. So it's like a Grover foot style. So I'll probably just stick with that style. There's not going to be 50 holes in the back of the headstock like a lot of people do. But if I go to change the foot, I will plug the holes. Let's go ahead and test fit this. Yeah, it's going to look pretty good. Really nice tuners. Alrighty, so we got the bridge pickup wire run, and then we got to run the neck. This is basically what you're left with. So we're putting new rings on. I got a bridge one that's a little bit smaller than the cream ones, and then I have a neck one that's pretty thin. I like these better for some reason. So just a reminder, Gibson ones will not fit. They are too small. You have to get import size or Epiphone. So always keep that in mind. So this is the bridge position, the KPH112. These are always fun to get started. This is pretty easy. Usually they fight me pretty bad. So let's go ahead and get this down in there. Just going to put it about right there for now. Go ahead and plug it in. sure it's all the way plugged in. Just kind of put that in there like that. All right, let's get the next pickup. Like somebody got a little excited with that one. Alrighty. Make sure it's on the right way. Have more fun trying to put this spring in. Got to set the intonation. These are both the same size bridge, so I shouldn't have a problem setting the intonation on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. You don't have to watch me do that. Self-explanatory, and I'll be back in just a second. I got the intonation done. I'm gonna go ahead and check the pickups and everything, see if they are working properly. Okay, we got sound. That's a plus. So everything's working like it should. I like for some odd reason, when I did my gold top, I spaced the pots where they were a little bit lower to the body. I didn't like that, so I kind of raised these ones up a little bit. It's just not my style. But I like this one raised a little bit because it's kind of right there with my finger, and I can tell if this one's the bridge just by feeling. So it's just my personal preference. That's how I set it up. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put the bridge, put the string, or I gotta turn it around, put the tuners on, which is self-explanatory. I shouldn't have to show you guys how to do that. Just line them up with a straight edge. Drill your new pilot holes, put the bolts in, and then the screws in the back, and you should be good to go. So I got it about matched up, so I'm going to put the tail piece on, put the tuners on, like I said, and plug it in and see how she plays.